Hey guys, hola amigos, and today we have a grammar lesson. We will talk about the articles, and in Spanish they are a little bit more complex than they are in English. So before we start talking about the articles in Spanish, I want to do a quick review over the articles in English. So we will talk about the definite article and indefinite articles. So in English, a definite article is when we're talking about something we know, an object, a noun that is particular, that we know. For example, if I say the house, I'm not talking about any house, I'm talking about the house, right? Or if I say the car, the window, I'm talking a particular object, something that you know what I'm talking about. So that's what we call definite article. And in English, you only have one, which is the. Now, in Spanish, it's a little bit more complex. So for the definite article, we have 4 different articles, and they are el, la, los, la. El, la, los, las. So we have 4 articles. Why? Well, first of all, because in Spanish, nouns have a gender. So some nouns are male and some other nouns are female. And I know this is a little bit complicated for English speakers because you don't have anything like that. In English, there is no nouns female or male. It's just one noun. For Spanish, they have a gender, and there must be agreement between gender and number. So let me explain. Well, before that, just want to remind you that in order to memorize if a noun is female or male, basically you just have to remember by memory. There is a rule, but like all rules, there are exceptions to this rule. So the rule says that if a word, a noun, ends up with a, it would be female. For example, casa, ventana, escoba, casa, ventana, escoba. So because they end up in a, they will have a feminine article. La casa, la ventana, la escoba. Okay, now it says if the word ends up in something else besides a, it will be a male article, a male noun. For example, carro, libro, color. So it will be el carro, el libro, el color. Okay, because it's male. Now there are exceptions. For example, agua. Agua ends up in a, but it's no la agua, it's el agua. It's an exception. Ends up in a, but it's a male noun. Or for example, mano. Mano, hand, ends up in o, but it's feminine. So it's la mano. No el mano, but la mano. So, but there are few exceptions. In general, if you can remember that if the word ends up in a is female, and if it's something besides a is male, that's usually a good rule of thumb. Rule of thumb. Okay, now that is the first 2, el and la. That is for singular. When you're talking about just one, la casa. I'm talking about one house and it's feminine, so it's la casa. Now, if I'm talking about a group of houses, it will be las casas. So there must be agreement first in gender. La is a feminine article, casa is a feminine noun. La casa. Now, there must be an agreement in number. Casas is plural, so the article must be first feminine and second plural. Las casas. Okay? Now, let's try with a male article. Carro. El carro. So, el is the masculine article in singular masculine article, and carro is a singular masculine noun. El carro. Now, if we have many cars, it would be carros. Los carros. So you see the agreement between the number and the gender of the article with the number and the gender of the noun. Los carros. Okay. So those are the definite articles in Spanish. La, el, las, los. La, el, las, los. Or you can memorize it this way. La, las, el, los. However you want to memorize it, okay? Just remember, singular feminine, la. Plural feminine, las. Singular masculine, el. Plural masculine, los. Okay, 4 definite articles. Now let's move on to the indefinite article. Indefinite article. So that's when we're talking about something that is not specific, that is not particular. For example, if I say a house, I'm not specifying which house I'm talking about. I'm just saying a house or a car. So in this case, house still is feminine, car is still masculine. So the nouns keep up their gender. Now we're going to modify the article just to match the noun. Okay, so if we have a house, house is feminine. Now the indefinite articles are un, una, unos, unas. So un is for a male singular, un carro. Un carro. Now, if we have many cars, it will be unos carros. Unos carros. Now, we have a feminine article, una casa. Now, if we have many houses, it would be unas casas. Okay? Now, the translation for un y una will be like a or an, a house, or an helicopter. You know, if the next word begins with a vowel, it will be an. But how do you translate unos or unas? It could be translated as some. Some. For example, if I say a house and some houses. Una casa, unas casas. Okay, so all that I want you to remember is definite articles, el, la, los, las. Now, indefinite article, it will be un, una, unos, unas. Okay? So it is basically just 8 words that I want you to remember, but they are very important. Now, don't be afraid to make mistakes, because sometimes people might make mistakes. El ventana, for example, the window. So that would be the wrong article with the noun, el ventana. But it's okay. Don't make it. Just try. Try. My advice is, when you're making a list of vocabulary, try to write the nouns with the article. at least with the definite article in singular. For example, el carro, la casa, la mesa, la cama, la ventana, la botella. So you can memorize if they are female or male. Okay, guys, I hope you like it. If you want, you can make some sentences. I will correct them if you want to. And I hope you like the video. Practice. Remember, practice makes perfect. La práctica hace al maestro. La práctica hace al maestro. Okay, guys. Adios. Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao.